Welcome to the Empower Hour, guys. I'm your host, Maile Scarpino, and I am here with Shawna Lum. She's Skyping in from Texas. She is my former teammate at Washington State University. We both were Libero DS, so I spent a lot of time with Shawna, and she just got a new job in Texas, and before this, she graduated. She was a freshman when I was a junior. She was my little baby, and she graduated and went and traveled abroad. So what's up, Shawna?
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks, Maile, for inviting me to come on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I get to talk to you and hear about your life and that you get to share everything, because you have a lot to share.
Oh yeah,
so
much.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, or who you think you are?
Who I think I am. That's a good one. So yeah, I'm Shawna. I am 22. I can't really believe I'm 22 because...
Oh my God, side note, I turn 25 tomorrow. I'm halfway to 50. I told my mom that on the way over here. I was like, Mom, I'm halfway to 50. This is horrible. And she goes, Maile, you do realize in September I'll be having my 50th birthday. And I was like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. So she's like having a freak out, but... It's just a number.
It's crazy. I'm starting to feel older just because when I just finished playing. So I'm going to get back to what I'm going to introduce myself.
Yes, sorry.
Pretty much, I'm from LA. I grew up playing volleyball since I was 12. I've loved traveling, loved meeting people my entire life, and I kind of ventured out. I was trying to find a volleyball scholarship, and I found some coaches from Washington State were watching me play at a tournament in California. They offered me a full ride, meaning 2 years. And as a DS, that was amazing. So that kind of changed my life. And now I have this wonderful education that I maybe or may not have been able to pay for if I didn't have that scholarship. And that also offered me the opportunity to go abroad with my major, international business, where I went to Spain. And I got to play on a beach team there, and probably could have traveled if I would have stayed there.
I didn't know that. You never told me that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things we have to talk about because, I honestly haven't talked to you in so long.
I know.
So this is a great time for us to be able to share with the world and each other.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like I love doing this kind of stuff, and I'm ready for your questions and just trying to, I really want to just help the world. When I went abroad, I realized, there's so much out there, and there's so much that I want to do now.
Like what? Give me an example. What did you notice what sparked your interest?
So, I don't know, just, seeing different cultures. And when I was in Spain, you come from America where everybody here is so, oh, where's my kid? Don't talk to my kid. Don't talk to strangers. And when you go to Europe, we have this stereotype that Europe is horrible. You're going to get taken or kidnapped.
Right.
And as a single female, I went in there really scared. And when you go on the streets in Spain, the children are running around. They're playing in the street. Their parents, meanwhile, are having a glass of wine or beer with their friends, and they don't care about their kids. Their kids are playing. They know that their kids are just going to be right there. So, I don't know, just I have a different perspective. I also saw just how much people stay with their family, and that really hit me hard. And I really want to start helping out with families all over the world and just seeing what the difference is.
Because your family is really close-knit. Your family to you is really important. Shawna's really close to her mom and really close to her stepdad.
My stepdad, yeah.
And that's kind of interesting too. That's something that we wanted to talk about is you're completely different than a lot of people just because you're Jewish and you're Black. So you fit into this double minority, and I don't know how that was for you growing up. How was that? Were there any challenges? Did it make it easier?
Well, so that's actually really interesting that you bring that up. People are always so shocked when we talk about a Black Jew. So, it's not very common. My dad is half black and my mom is the Jewish one, who her family came from Czechoslovakia, and we have a really interesting story because my grandparents, my grandpa and my great uncle, were actually saved by Sir Nicholas Winton out of Czechoslovakia, and they were on the last train that got out of Czechoslovakia before the Nazis shut down the trains and took everyone to concentration camp. So I kind of have like a really unique story, and that's really why I'm here. But in school, like I went to a Christian school because in LA, the school system isn't very good.
Right.
And my mom really wanted me to go to a private school. So I went to a Christian school. So there you go again with the mixture. And then when I got to this private school, I learning about Christianity and learning about, religion. And it was kind of like awkward because everybody there was Christian, but I knew that my family was Jewish. So it was kind of like I didn't really know where I should fit in. And that's a big thing when you're young, like, how do I fit in?
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's confusing, too.
Yeah, so when I was little, I didn't know what I was. And I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as you are having fun and you have a good support system around you. But yeah, it was interesting because my mom didn't believe in some of the stuff that I was learning in school. So I never experienced there was nothing like, oh, what, you're a Jew or something, because that was more so in the 30s and stuff in Europe and all of the anti-Semitism, but I never experienced that. Maybe wait, you say you're Jewish, but you're at a Christian school? I heard that a couple times. But
and how did you respond to that?
I don't remember. I think I would just be like, yeah, I'm Jewish. I'm not Christian, and kind of proud of it because I knew, we celebrated Hanukkah, we lit the candles.
But it's good because you got to learn about Christianity, and that probably made. I always wondered, playing volleyball, we had our coaches were very Christian oriented. Very religious, and they always brought that in to everything, and you're not really supposed to do that in the NCAA. It's not really according to regulations, but they did it anyways. And I always wondered, with you, because you would just be sitting there, and I was like, gosh, this must be awkward, because Shawna's Jewish, and they're talking, about Christian things, but you were always, really cool with it, and you let it slide off your back, so now I understand why.
Yeah. I mean, I see the good teachings in all of those, basically all religions. But when they would talk about that kind of stuff, I would kind of just take it. I know they're trying to make the situation better, and they would bring that up so that we could, advance in some way or have some sort of boost in spirits. And I mean, I still took it as a positive. So I just think it was, any of that kind of stuff, I kind of try to interpret it to be.
And let's talk about that too, because you always do that with everything. You're, okay, what is the positive I can take out of this? You were, no matter what feedback you got, I never once saw you go, no. You were always like, okay, I can do it better. There's some days where I was like, gosh darn, how does she do that? I'm exhausted, especially in 2 days. We'd wake up, no sleep, we'd, lift and then go play for 3 hours and then go to lunch and then come play again and then go to bed and wake up and do it again.
I don't know what it is, but there's something about me where I can't ever stop. I just say, it can bite you in the booty, but I kind of say yes to a lot of things, but it gives me the opportunity to do a lot of things. So, I mean, I don't know what else you wanted to know about studying when I studied abroad and all that, but I was doing so much when I was over there just because I was saying yes and I was just open to everything. I had an internship where I spoke just Spanish, and then I randomly bought some rollerblades and just started rollerblading around the beach and started talking to random people that were playing volleyball, and they actually ended up being a travel international team, and then they let me play with them. It was just random stuff like that.
But it kind of shows you that when you're open to other people, that like attracts, I can't even talk today. Like attracts like. I've said that before in a past show, but it's true. And when you're open and you're willing and you're accepting, things kind of flow your way. And you've always been that way, which I admire. And just being positive, and something that you would always do with us, and you were a freshman, so we'd always be like, yeah, Shawna, just be quiet. We don't want to hear it today. You'd be like, let's visualize before we would play. So do you want to talk about that? Because doesn't your mom specialize in that, like visualization and?
Yes. So my mom, born in California, she is a jack of all trades. She got her license in manicure. She has her manicurist license. She doesn't do that. But then she's like a hypnotherapist. But that's not even her main job. Her main job is insurance. But her passion is helping people and the hypnotherapy.
So what is hypnotherapy? Explain that first, because I don't even know what that is.
First of all, people have a huge misconception with what hypnotherapy is.
Okay.
People are thinking, you dangle that little watch in front of you and you basically get in some sort of trance. That is not it at all. That's just like how people make money on those random shows at theme parks. Basically what it is she tries to, everything in life, like every thought that we think becomes reality. And I know I've talked to you about this, Smiley, with like your doctorate studies and stuff like that. But everything you feed to your brain becomes reality. So if I tell myself, oh, I'm going to set my alarm a little bit later, I'll wake up on time. Like, okay, I'll set my alarm a little bit later and I will wake up on time, but I'm going to be stressed out. Like, it's just things that you do, you tell yourself something and you're going to do it. Let me find another example. So if you're scared of flying, you're telling yourself before that you are terrified and that you're going to be nervous, you're going to be shaking on the plane. What normally happens, that person is like that. So that is actually like a fear that's brought out by
that you're
thoughts.
Creating yourself.
Yes, that people create, and that's kind of a higher level example, but even something to, I don't like, let's see, I don't even know what a good example would be. Oh, I don't like to pass. Like, if we're talking about volleyball, I don't like to pass in this rotation.
That's exactly what I would think.
You're probably not going to like to pass in that rotation.
Do you know I still have nightmares of playing against playing against UW when that girl served? I can still remember this girl served so fast and so hard on her jump serve. I blinked and the ball was on the ground. And my coach just looked at me and was like, Miley, how did you miss that? And I was like, do you want to come and try to pass this? Like, I didn't even see it. I blinked and it was on the ground. So I still have nightmares of that. And I just have a nightmare of that girl serving at me 25 times and we lose the game. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's so funny.
No, but it's true.
And she just takes basically whatever that person's habits are. She lays them down, gets them relaxed, and basically like opens the subconscious mind by relaxing words, relaxing phrases, and she basically replaces whatever that thought process is with a new thought process. And by doing that creates a new habit, that creates a new belief, and later on that belief becomes reality. And that's how she helps people quit smoking, people with anorexia, people with bulimia, sports. She helped me a lot.
Yeah, she did, because you would come in and you would tell us, like, let's visualize our passing. What do you see? Let's visualize winning. If we see it, it will happen. Or you'd be like, I'm going to get this grade up. And I'm like, yeah, right. This is like the #1 ranked recruit of the year. And she's hitting cross ball and you're in the left-hand corner and she's going to hit you every time. Like, let's see it. And you would. And I would just be like, what the heck? I need to do this. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to dig it. Yeah.
But it's just hard to get people to want to change. Like, they have to be open to it. And there's so many different forms of therapy. So that's just like one. But the thing about hypnotherapy is it has this weird stereotype, and people just aren't really open to it. They think it's like a taboo, but it's just another form of self-help and therapy. And you can eventually, when I said self-help, you can eventually start doing it to yourself without having somebody guiding you.
Well, That's awesome, Shawna.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, commercial break, and then we're going to be right back. I will be here with you, so don't worry when we go on our commercial break. But this is the Empower Hour. I'm here with Shawna Lum, and I'm your host, Maile Scarpino. We'll be back in a second.
Aloha, my name is Josh Green. I'm a senator from the Big Island and ER physician. Every other Tuesday, I get to host a show here on the ThinkTech program about healthcare. We call it Healthcare in Hawaii. It's really enjoyable for me to bring other healthcare leaders from around the state to talk about our pressing issues. Hawaii has long been the health state, but we need to keep up the momentum, the inertia, and with your help and with your participation, we can come and share all of the big issues that are pressing day to day. Thanks for joining us every Tuesday, alternating weeks from 2 to 2:45.
Aloha, my name is PJ and I'm the host of Hawaii Sports Update. I am very interested in local sports and that's why I host the Hawaii Sports Update show. I bring in guests from Hawaii, I bring in guests from UH, I bring in guests from the community, I bring in big names, I bring in small names, I bring in all names that are community related and doing positive things, sports related in the community. Come join me every Tuesday at 1 p.m. here on Hawaii Sports Update. You can also join me on my golf team, the first annual PJ Sports Radio Show golf tournament. It's going to be held at Coral Creek. For any information, go to ThinkTech Hawaii, INC, and friend us. The PayPal and a summary of the event will be right there available for you. And don't forget to tweet us.
Welcome back to the Empower Hour, guys. I'm your host, Maile Scarpino, here with Shawna Lum. She's my former teammate at Washington State University. She was a little freshman, and now she's all grown up, and she has a job in Texas. And
Yay,
we're kind of
got a real world job.
We're kind of jumping around on topics today because we just have a lot in common. There's a lot to talk about. But Shawna is going to share a little bit more about her family because she has a really interesting family history, and you have relatives that were in the Holocaust too, huh?
Yes, I had relatives that actually died in concentration camps who, with tons of research that I've done based off of just my family that's still alive, and actually going to the concentration camps this summer in Poland.
Yeah, there's a I saw you posted that picture of.
Yeah,
yourself.
So I went, basically, I have my great-grandparents, they all died, my mom's side, they all perished in this place, in this city in Poland called Lublin, and the concentration camp was called Mujanik. And basically it's like northeast Poland by Ukraine. And they're from, my whole family, my mom's side is from Brno, Czech Republic, which is south of Prague. And basically, I've known about these stories since I was 13. My great-grandparents, they had, obviously, my grandfather and my great-uncle, two brothers. And when the wars broke out in, like, 1939, they basically got word that the Nazis were coming in and that, you know, there was kind of like people talking in that area, that
right.
part of Europe, and the Jews were, they kind of knew something was happening, but they didn't know what was coming. They knew that Hitler wanted to, you know, annex and like get a whole bunch of different countries, but they didn't know what he would actually do to the Jews. But so what my great-grandparents did is they got word of a secret kinder transport system. A kinder transport is when they take children and they send them to a different place as like to rescue them from turmoil.
Okay.
So basically, this man from London, from England, Sir Nicholas Winton, because he's knighted by the Queen of England, he just passed away at 106.
Oh my gosh, I got shiver bumps. Ooh.
Yeah, he organized so that 669 children could get out of Czechoslovakia from Prague to London, to Liverpool Station in London. So basically, my grandpa and my great-uncle were on that train at age 9 and 11. Their parents had to have so much courage to send them, first
right.
of all. They couldn't send themselves because it was too much money. They had to pay what's probably equivalent of like $1,000 per boy, per my grandpa and per my...
which was a lot back then.
Which back then, if you can imagine how much that is, that was a lot. Because they paid that $1,000 thinking that their children were going to come back. So they were sending them away to safety in hope that they would come back to to now what is called the Czech Republic. But they never did because the war turned out so bad. You know, they put all the Jews together, told them they need to be at this train station at this time so that they could start sending them off to concentration camps. My grandpa and my great uncle got on the last train that got out of Czechoslovakia before the Nazis came in. So this is the backstory. And pretty much I had the opportunity to go there this spring with my great uncle who's 86.
And you look exactly like him. When you guys are in pictures together, you look very, very similar.
Yeah. So he's still alive. My grandpa died in 2010, who was younger. But my great uncle, he lives in Israel, and he's still kicking. He works full time. We went snow skiing this past spring in the Italian Alps, and we basically went to all of the main places of my grandfather and my great uncle's history when they were children. So like the station that his mom would not go to and forced the father to go to because she couldn't see the children leaving. Like I saw that station where these children left from. Like it was.
What was that like for you? What was the experience?
I mean, I was just trying to get as much information as I could because my great uncle is really old and nobody in my family is keeping track of anything. Nobody knows anything specific. I have all these notes that I was taking about, you know, dates and what was happening and like what my grandparents were like, what their names were. And he's like a storybook. I wish you should actually Skype with him. You guys should do a show on him. He was on 60 Minutes with Sir Nicholas Winton.
No way.
Yeah, so if you guys want, I can give you guys the link and maybe some of the watchers, the viewers can see it.
I would love that, Shawna. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 15 minutes, and Nicholas Winton, there's a lot of things that I did this past spring, like I was telling you. I went to London, and I actually went to his house. He was 105 when I met him in March.
So you actually met him?
I met him and I talked to him and kind of what we're doing right now, just talking to him at 105. And you could only imagine like how many goosebumps I had because he's literally the reason why
you're alive and you're here.
This is why he's literally the reason why, because he went out of his way and he didn't get paid for this. He knew that this was the right thing to do. And he went and saved 669 children that now have children, and those children have children. So I am a child of the child of the child, if that makes any sense. Like, because I'm the grandchild.
Right.
Those people. So it's absolutely incredible. I got to ask him, like, how do you live to be 105? This is another reason why I told you I wanted to help the world, because I asked him advice about life and what is the key to happiness.
Right, which everybody wants to know.
Yes, and he's 105, so he must be doing something right. So basically he told me, and I have everything recorded if you guys want to listen, I'm going to make something out of that. He told me that doing the right thing, he goes, do what's right, like, just do what's right. He kept saying ethics, and I was kind of shocked because I thought he was going to say something like, okay, have fun, you know, but do what is right. You can interpret that in so many ways, like do what you feel is right, do what is right to the world. And at that point in time, when the Nazis were about to put everyone in concentration camp, he wanted to do what was right, and he went. And I asked him, I go, do you even think what you did, like, what do you think about what you did? You know, you saved all these people. He nonchalantly is like, I didn't do anything special. He does not view what he did as something, you know, extraordinary. He views it as I asked him, he said every single person could do what he did.
They could, but it was a choice.
Correct, yeah.
Which is, like, amazing.
So, and since that point when he saved all those people, he got knighted by the Queen. So I met a knight, and basically the guy that saved my parents, or my great-grandparents. My grandparents. Sorry, I'm getting confused now.
So you're saying why you want to save the world. What do you mean save the world? Or like what are your ideas behind that?
Well, that whole talk I had with him really inspired me because, man, this guy is so humble, and he is responsible for saving all these people, and he went through blackmailing and creating false passports for these children so that they could get into England. And I mean, if somebody could do that and like risk themselves getting caught with the Nazis and things like that, I mean, I could totally help. And just, I think about every little detail, like how we have the water on for too long, and how people don't even have water in various parts of the world. And just, I really want to get on some sort of project where I can just help people, because we don't see how bad it is in other places.
Right.
And
was there a time in Europe that you saw any like really bad poverty or anything like that? Or
honestly, I didn't see too much, but it's pretty nice over there. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There's certain parts that are gonna be lower class, and you might find a lot of poverty, but I didn't see like extreme conditions. But I did see in the south of Spain, I stayed at this hostel that my friend's family owned, and they only speak Spanish. They run this hostel 7 days a week. There's a restaurant attached to it, and they just work so hard because they are lower class. They have to work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a day off. They can't hire people to go work for them. So it's like just those kind of things with like the passion for their family and the passion for, really staying alive and just being happy. It kind of just made me want to give more,
And what is the culture like over there? What is it? I know over here, like, our culture is very oriented to like what you have and how much money you can make and your job and your status. Is it the same way?
No, like, it is totally different. When I was in Spain, okay, they do dress very nice. Where I was in the north, it was in Bilbao. It's the best economy in Spain. Spain is kind of really bad economically right now, but everybody dresses nice, and they do value clothes and some brand names and stuff like that, but they do not value cars. Everybody takes public transportation, which I think is amazing.
I think that's amazing too.
Like, it makes so much more sense. Why wouldn't we do that? Why not? And everybody uses it. It's not just one certain class of people. It's all classes, and it's all from all walks of life. Little teeny 5-year-olds going to school. Their moms will put them on the metro and then let them go to school.
By themselves? By themselves?
Yes, by themselves.
Oh, my.
Like 5 and 6 years old. It's just, they have a different way of thinking about it. They're not scared that their child is going to
get kidnapped.
Yeah, but they don't have that over there. It's not even really a problem. And that's, that's like the misconception like I was talking about before, but even the old people are riding the metro. Like, everybody's riding it. But they don't really value the car as much. They have more like disposable income because they live with their parents until they're 30, like until they get married. That was the craziest part for me. Is you can have like a 28, 29, 30-year-old like living with their parents, but this is across the board. Like they
do
norm, that.
Whereas in America, it's not normal at all.
Right. And I don't see that as a bad thing anymore. Before I was kind of, okay, maybe they should, get at their own place. But it just really was like it was very family oriented, and people were just so nice. Like, you walk into a bar or a restaurant or even somebody's house, and they're sitting down, eating, drinking a glass of wine. They will get up and kiss you like that and acknowledge you by standing up. And it's just like, it's different.
Wow,
It
there's
was
a
really
lot of
cool,
differences
and I'm
that we
kind
have.
of sad right now that I'm not there.
Well, we're going to take another quick commercial break. Shawna, you're doing awesome. I'm so glad I'm getting to catch up with you and that you're getting to share your story. This is the Empower Hour. I'm your host, Maile Scarpino, and we will be back for our last segment.
Hi, I'm Chris Leatham, and I'd like to invite you to come and watch my show every Wednesday at 3. I'm interested in a variety of issues that have to do with politics and our local business economy. And I'd like to bring on guests who like to talk about everything from technology to social media to what we can be doing to improve our environment. And so I'd like to invite you every Wednesday at 3 to stay and watch my show here with ThinkTech Hawaii. And I'll see you there.
Aloha, how you doing? I'm Gordo the Tech Czar here on ThinkTech Hawaii, where we co-host Hibachi Talk, where we talk about technology and bring in all kinds of cool guests. Also, my co-host with me today is
Andrew the security guy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching ThinkTech Hawaii, and thanks for watching Hibachi Talk. We also have Angus.
And you there, lad. It's Angus. I bring in all kinds of wee things. Oh, look, you can see my lips moving.
We're back to the Empower Hour, guys. I'm your host, Maile Scarpino. I'm here with Shawna Lum, my former volleyball teammate at Washington State University. We're just talking about a number of different things. We were talking about Shawna's travels and how the culture is so much different in Spain, where she did her study abroad. So, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, Miley, if we could give any advice to anybody who is still in college, I would suggest trying to go abroad. Like, it was seriously one of the best experiences of my life because you just see so many different things going on. You have a different culture. You have a better appreciation for life. At least I did. But
what exactly stuck out for you?
What stuck out?
Yeah, that made you have that appreciation.
Just like how people operate differently there, and that I shouldn't judge people. Okay, so I guess when you're a foreigner and you go into a new place, you get judged.
Right, I was going to ask you that, what it was like being an American.
I got scared I tried to fit in with the clothes and everything, because after a certain point, you're like, okay, everybody stop staring at me. I know that I'm from America, but you need to, like, in my head, I'm like, stop staring at me. And so I'd be on the metro or whatever, and everybody's very serious. They sit like this.
That's not you at all.
They sit on the metro, and you know me, I just want to talk to everybody.
Yes.
You know, if I'm sitting next to somebody.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Shawna.
Exactly. Like, I want to introduce myself, and everybody's just, you know. And they can look you dead in the eye and do a stare down for like 20 seconds. And I was always the one that broke the stare down. I could not do it because it was just too awkward. But just things like that, like how I know that I was different, but now I have a better appreciation for people that are different. Like, it now translates when I'm here. I don't think you should judge somebody just because they're different, because now I've totally been in those shoes.
Right.
I was there.
Did you only have the chance of going to Spain, or is that where you wanted to go?
I wanted to go there because I want to be fluent in Spanish, and it helped my fluency so much. I stayed with the host family, and my host family was amazing. They cook for you like 3 times a day. It was incredible. And I got to basically better my Spanish by doing that. But every weekend I was like traveling. I was going to different parts of Spain. I went to Barcelona, Madrid. I did where they run with the bulls. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, it just passed. It's July 2nd to July 8th every year. Where they run with the bulls and everything, and all these Americans and Australians go almost every year. It's a really big party for them. They have parties like every 2 weeks. It's like some sort of festival, and they don't have work. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. And pretty much went there. I went to Amsterdam for a weekend. I did the Italian Alps, Pisa and Florence in Italy.
The Alps
like
are beautiful.
Oh my gosh, beautiful.
What was your favorite memory that you made?
When I was over there?
Yep.
I mean, honestly, probably meeting Sir Nicholas Winton, but besides, like, my family things that I did, you know, seeing the town that my grandparents were born in, and also the individual apartments, we went into the apartments. We rang the doorbell.
Oh,
and
wow.
we got to see where they lived and everything. But besides that, I would say I traveled by myself, like, for a couple of the trips. I went back to Italy, and I did Venice and Cinque Terre, which is these 5 villages that you can probably see on Pinterest, and it's like staggered on the coast, and it's beautiful. They're like nestled in the cliff. I did those by myself, and it was literally the best decision I've ever done. I was freaking out, but at the same time, you meet people at the hostel. It's just like you traveling by yourself is almost like inspirational.
And it's empowering, I'm sure. Yeah, the Empower Hour. It's empowering. Like,
it's very empowering.
You do it by yourself. You make all these connections. It's kind of relieving to see that you can function on your own. And
yeah, like I was in Venice, and I was walking through these canals and these.
I've been to Venice. I do not like Venice.
You didn't like it?
No, the canals got shut off, and we got lost, and we couldn't read anything. Nobody spoke English. It was just stressful. Yeah.
See, but I speak Spanish, and I was speaking Spanish to everyone because they understand it.
Because Italian and Spanish are really similar.
In Italian.
I was gonna ask you too, because your last name's Lum.
Okay.
How did you get your last name? Because I know this story.
Well, I don't know if I'm Chinese, but it is a Chinese last name.
And
I just ordered the DNA test from like this ancestor website that basically will trace back your DNA. But anyways, I'm gonna see if I'm really Chinese. But I'm not Chinese as of right now. I don't think I'm Chinese, and I have this last name that's totally Chinese. And basically, my dad's side, our last name is supposed to be Johnson. And why? I think it was like my great-grandfather. He was in trouble with the law. And so his stepfather was a Chinaman, I guess straight from China. His last name was Lum. So basically he offered to my great-grandfather to adopt that last name. And we're not Johnsons anymore, I guess.
I always thought that was the funniest thing. When you'd be like, hi, I'm Shawna Lum. I'm Jewish and I'm black. But my last name is Chinese, and I was always like, what is going on here? I can't figure out what's going on. And then I asked you, and you're like, that's not really my real last name.
In the Chinese side of the family that actually was, you know, blood related to that Chinaman, they, like, hate my dad's side of the family because they think we're, like, imposters.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, peace, love, happiness, guys. What's
Shawna's totally peace, love, happiness all the time. So, Shawna, we have about 5 minutes. What is your takeaway from life right now? What are your future aspirations? What are you hoping to achieve?
Honestly, like, I really right now have been basing a lot of my stuff off of my study abroad and how much it inspired me. I really think that sometimes we think that we should decide things really soon and early. You know, I committed to the job that I'm in right now, which is a great job. I committed to it in December without realizing or knowing, you know, what was going to come those 6 months or 7 months that I was abroad studying. I had so many opportunities that I could have probably stayed in Spain and played beach volleyball, probably gotten traveling paid for. I couldn't do any of that because I made a commitment before that because I was nervous and scared that I wouldn't be able to find something afterwards. Now, I kind of jumped into it, but I'm very happy because my company is great. But I just think right now, like, really going through the decisions you make when it comes to the future, because there's so many, I'm only 22 once in my life. Like, I can't I can't tell you that I'm going to be able to go play beach volleyball in Spain, or those people I met that may have had an organization in Latin America to build schoolhouses may not have had that opportunity later on in life. You know,
Right.
it's just, there's so many things that come to you if you just talk to people and be open and you're just curious. So I think my goal is to just keep the curiosity that I have, because with my curiosity comes all these opportunities, and never take no for an answer, because, I mean, I was told that I couldn't play Pac-12 volleyball.
I was too. Look at us.
Yeah, Maile and I both were told that
You're
we
too
could not
little.
play. We're too little. You're not gonna be able to play in a game.
It'll never
I
start.
was told that
You're a practice
by the-
player. Yep.
by the Berkeley coach who we beat.
There's Shawna. The picture's a little blurry, but there's graduating. Shawna's on the left. Chelsea, number 12. Verlia, number 15. Steph Logan, number 3. And JC Harrison, number 5.
Yeah, that's our senior.
All of our graduating babies. There's our gym bowler. It's exciting to see.
Yeah. I miss that place.
I know, I do too. What is your takeaway from playing college volleyball? What's the main thing you learned?
Just to not give up, because even though I ran into a lot of, I wasn't necessarily the most skilled volleyball player, but I just kept working at it, because I know that I'm not, quitting does not do anything, and giving up on just because something is hard, you're not going to have a good taste in your mouth afterwards. And I knew that I could do it, and I just kept going, and I think that's really the biggest takeaway. And just knowing that you're in it, you're not in it by yourself. Just always knowing, like, even in my job right now, I thought I was the only one in it, and that I was going to be freaking out, doing everything alone. But there's people there. There's people around you to help you. You just have to ask for help, and you'll get help.
And you have to be open to it.
Yeah.
And I forget that. I'm like, I don't need help. And then some days I'm like, oh my God, I need so much help. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But
And attitude. It's all about the attitude.
It is all attitude. And here's a picture of us too, Sean. You'll be able to see it when you watch this back, but it has Ganser in it. Ganser number 9. It's us in a huddle. Oh, yep, there I am. I was blonde. I'm all the way on the right. Got all of us getting
That
ready.
was playing at UW, University of Washington.
That was a hard game.
Yeah.
But
They're
Shawna, I want to.
number 1 and 2 in the nation.
They're an awesome team. I want to thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
And for being my teammate, my great friend, and for making me proud. You're doing awesome in life. I'm so proud of you. And
Maile.
yeah, can't thank you enough. And
I'm really happy that you guys invited me to come on this show, and I mean, I'll be watching. I've watched some of your guys' stuff, and I really love it. So good luck with everything, and I really hope that you guys keep continuing for many, many years.
Thank you, Sean. I love you. And with that, that's the end. Happy Aloha Friday, everyone. Hope you have a great weekend. And
Happy Aloha Friday, even though I don't even live in Hawaii.
Yay! I'll be seeing you guys next week. This is the Empower Hour. I'm your host, Maile Scarpino. I was here with Shawna Lum, former Slum Dog. We used to call her Slum Dog. That's the end of our episode, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, Sean.